Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I trust you all had a fabulous day on the golf course, and congratulations to the winners. My name is Debbie McKibbon, and my son Matthew has been a client of CLO for the past 15 years, since he graduated from T.A. Blakelock High School in 2011. I was surprised when I was approached by Andrea Lee to say a few words about Matthew and his journey with CLO. I'm not a public speaker, but I did see it as an opportunity to give back to the agency whose support we have had for many years, and especially the last 18 months. Matthew has autism, and he was diagnosed at the age of 4 years. In those days, there was no specific behavioral support in Canada, so along with 4 other Oakville mothers who had just had their children diagnosed with autism, we went to an autism conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to learn about applied behavioral analysis, or ABA, and how it could help our children who were at different levels on the autism spectrum. We listened to psychologists and workers who had developed programs using ABA methods to help our children learn at their own pace, develop social skills, and improve their cognitive skills and abilities over time. Those were early days. Each family hired workers, usually EAs or those with childhood education background, and trained them as therapists under the guidance of a consultant from the US, as we were the only families in Oakville doing ABA therapy with our children. We had some pushback when our children entered the school system. Ontario, and indeed Canada, was behind in what clinical help they could give. For us parents, ABA was a lifeline, as the alternative wasn't helping our children learn. The school system dealt with the outside physical behaviors, not the root cause. So Matthew was one of the fortunate ones, as we had started ABA therapy in our home at age 4, and I was allowed by his elementary school principal to bring in my outside consultant to monitor his progress and teach the teachers and EAs alike how to push through the behavioral concerns and develop learning while helping him manage his emotions when he was on overload. Transition to high school went very well. Again, we had a forward-thinking special needs manager at Blakelock High School that allowed the outside consultant to show them techniques that would help him thrive, and other students in the center as well. 2 of his EAs from Blakelock work with Matthew to this day. So as Matthew approached his 21st birthday, we needed to transition him to a day program. So along with the manager of a center at Blakelock, we attended a special needs exploratory workshop where CLO and other agencies presented their programs. Their representative that night was Julie Bisbiscos, and I was impressed by her professionalism and knowledge as she explained the various programs available. That night, I signed Matthew up to join their CLO Innovations group starting that fall. The person in charge was Adewale Adesina, who Matthew just clicked with, and he flourished in the program. During this time, CBA also welcomed my ABA consultant to come in to advise the best way to work with Matthew so the transition would be as smooth as possible. Then in March 2020, the pandemic hit. All programs were canceled, and Matthew, as did others in the Innovations program, lost ground. Fortunately, the 5-person circle at our house included his 2 EAs from Blakelock, Matthew, me, and my husband. So the girls took him out for drives, drive-in restaurants, and outside walks, so he didn't remain at home for days at a time. But his behaviors increased, and his temper escalated, and all that hard work we had done with him was being unraveled. So it took its toll on David and me. We needed a break from him as much as we needed a break from us. We were not getting any younger, and my husband, started to develop health issues. When CLO opened up again fully in 2024, I spoke with Julie and asked her how we could apply for a group home placement for Matthew and put him on the crisis list. Now, we had been on an Ontario waiting list for a group home placement since Matthew was 8 years of age. The only way to speed up the process for a group home placement was to list him as in crisis. Over the summer of 2024, Julie helped us navigate the myriad of application forms and discussions with Centralized West along with Halton Support Services. She kept Alex and Jenny Parisi up to date on our progress. Then in October 2024, I had total knee replacement surgery, and we needed to have Matthew away from home for about 10 days while I got recovery and exercise routine established at the house. Alex and Jenny presented our case at the monthly meeting, and we were able to find a temporary group home in Cambridge. The only problem was that it was private. CLO arranged to have an agency pay for the entire stay, so we didn't have to pay anything, and the cost for those 10 days was $8,000. The group home was rough on Matthew, but it was life-changing for us. I was able to take care of myself without having to deal with Matthew at home. In the meantime, Jenny and Julie said that CLO was making client changes due to the aging in their group homes, and they would possibly be an opening for Matthew. So that they presented our case to the ministry, and we were in a waiting game to see how the funding was going to be worked out. David and I have a strong faith that God is in control and his timing is perfect. In fact, since 2024, every time I prayed, the word timing had stuck in my mind. The following year, David had congestive heart failure in the summer of 2025, and CLO very quickly came to our aid. Nazim said, "Forget about waiting for the ministry. We will make it work," so he could move into a group home as soon as possible. The Excel Day program staff were fantastic during this time. Shania, the manager, and a staff member, Stephanie, drove Matthew home on numerous occasions and stayed with him until I could get home from the hospital because I was dealing with David's cardiologist and looking after the next steps for him. The group home we visited was very nice, but in my heart, I didn't really think it was the best fit for him. So I was overjoyed when another place became available at their Sharon group home. The moment we went in, we knew this was the place for Matthew. The staff were amazing, and the manager, Jody Blau, was terrific. So he moved in on September the 8th, 2025. Matt did so well with the transition. He still had the Excel Day program, and he still had his Blakelock EAs taking him out for outings. On the days we actually dropped him off, he told me, "Bye, Mom." He knew as much as we did that this was necessary and that it was the next chapter of his life. We can't thank CLO enough for what they've done for our family, from the executive director, Alex, down to the daily staff who were with Matthew at Excel and the wonderful staff at Sharon. You've all been wonderful, and we really appreciate it. This golf fundraiser is our chance to give back to an agency that pours out its heart and soul into the people they support and their families. The funds raised for this year, as Alex suggested, will assist with food insecurity. CLO's ministry-funded homes receive a food budget, but in recent years it's not nearly enough to cover the cost of groceries, and they want to make sure that the people they support have healthy foods. Their supported independent living program receives $0 in their budget, so it really leaves all 40 people supported through this program in desperate need of grocery support. So Community Living Oakville was a lifeline for our family during a very stressful period, and we are so grateful for everything they've done for us, and not just us, but so many other families as well. So now it's up to us to support them. This is their largest fundraiser for the year, so please give generously and cheerfully so the people they support can live their lives to the fullest, like our son Matthew. Thank you.